I am pleased to be here today. I am Telsing the Buffers and I want to highlight on series of issues happening around the world, happening within the country called Liberia today, and what I want to be addressing all have to do with fast in government. And we are pleased today to have a very good governing system, and I'm pleased today to have every other good thing, and at least we should be overwhelmed that there are a lot of things our government has for us today that we never had the chance to talk about yesterday. And today we are happy of a lot of things ongoing today. We see road projects are ongoing. Like I said from the previous stage, we have a lot of road projects ongoing. And the country was established over 170 years now. We have finished in a period of rule, but today I can assure you in the period of 170 years, this government have completed over 400 kilometers of road, and to show that this government are doing much for us, and the government will do well and do much for us. The government have engaged in paying wise fees for the secondary students around the country, and this government even organized a tutorial for WAEC around the country. This government have deemed it necessary in its own will to make education or tuition free in every university within the country. I think that should be a sign thing to we Liberians. We should appreciate this government for what they are doing. We should be very grateful, we should be very thankful to this government. And we observe that there are a lot of things lacking up in the system, and we just want to say anything we say it, we just want to do anything we do it. I don't think it should be good for us. It shouldn't be good for us. What I want to tell you today, we heard that Ambassador Weah, who is the president of this noble country, have killed a ghost. And I'm glad to be here today to really tell you how he managed or how he did it. During the past, even before then, there are a lot of people who were working in some other ministries that their name were installed in the system, and some of them even died over the period of time. But their name were also in the system. Some of them they are not even high school graduate, or they are not even BSc holder, but they receive BSc salary, and those that really teach, those that had a degree in a field teaching, they're not even getting that amount. I am surprised. And imagine, at the end result, they sit to their houses and then they go to the bank and collect their money, and then they blame government. We elected those people in power as governments, and then government official, let me say, and then you try to or do your own thing SYZ, and then you want to blame government for what you are doing. You, the citizen, will come up and say government is not working. So why did you go for to the bank? It is your right. You are not working, you are taking free money from government, exploiting government. It is your right? It is never your right. You should understand that, or those that belonging to this particular place, they should get the money. So what Ambassador we are intended to do after he discovered that there are a lot of ghosts, because we classify people who are not working, who are not saying they are unseen, we classify them to be a ghost. What he do is to send the IAA around to administer a biometric, and while administering those biometric to know the person who is on a particular payroll, who name is present, if they are alive or they are working as government official. If they are not, definitely let that name be removed. He did that to keep the government system swift and paved. So what we used to know that there are a lot of name placed in the system, but today I was to my utmost surprise. We have ghosts holding pen, ghosts holding chalk. We cannot see them, but they are in the system. Those are really working, that sacrificing their time every morning, every evening, going to work to teach those children, or to make sure that the children are learn their catered to. They are not even getting the amount. How would they feel encouraged? How would they feel impressed to do XYZ extraordinary things to make sure that the children be well catered to? They cannot. So what have happened after they have discovered that Ambassador Weah, the president of this noble country, Ambassador George Manem Baguba Foglikon Weah, said, let us destroy them. Let us remove their name from the system, that people who actually deserve that name will be installed in the system. Can you imagine when this government took office? There are a lot of people, there are a lot of things happening. People need job, people need to be placed there. Then you are sitting there, you does not even have a single degree. Up to 2,000 people all in the system. Why would people be so wicked to their own country? And they say government money free. This are be free. But the government are suffering to make sure they build the system, to make sure that sufficient people get job, and you are here, not even a common high school graduate, but receiving a BSc salary. Can you imagine that? That's a complete nonsense. But I give God the glory. I pray God for we have a very good president that was able to remove those names from the system. And he did that, and it is still in progress that those names will be removed ever. And at least those people who deserve those positions will be installed, that will have sufficient people working in government. We will have things going on swiftly. And there are a lot of things they said the government couldn't do. Because if it really comes to the education status, what we said, the government can never even make the education status smooth or swift. But to my utmost surprise today, see how am I enjoying? We have tuition free. I go to school, I pay less money to learn, only because they passed within said the education system was a mess. But this government in its ill will trying to maintain the education system. The government trying to maintain the health sectors that people will be benefited. The government ever before in the history of Liberia have sent doctors out of the country to go and acquire adequate and do sufficient research on that knowledge and to learn further. This government has done all that. This government in its ill will have paved so many kilometers of federal roads. This government have done that. This government really doing this because they know that the people deserve it. As the president said, if I do not achieve anything, let me just make sure my people deserve what this needs. It is the first of a kind that every ministers that are employed, that are appointed by the president came from Liberia, came from this country, and they are all young people. Young people have been installed. Youth empowerment policy have been put in place. Young people are opportune to work in government. I am utterly surprised that we'll have people keep talking about this government. What is this 5 of it? Who know me? Who knew us around here? But today there are a lot of people installed in the system, and they are working effectively. We should give credence to government whenever government are on the right path to improve youth. It is the first of a kind that youthful generation, people like us, start making money at our younger age. Then we reach that age, will not be screening for government work. We'll live and enjoy what we earn in a period of time. That's a good strategy. That our idea will not be the older one before it starts working as an idea. It will be at a youthful level, and then it start pushing things. It is the first of a kind. The speaker is doing everything ably to maintain the policy. And I can assure you, there are a lot of things that are done. And there are a lot of things that will help us, we as Liberians, to remove those negative thinking. Today we know that there are a lot of oppositions in the system. We know that. But how can we remove those opposition from the system? It's only to get it right way. You cannot start an opposition in a democratic republic. But the speaker in his own will trying to maintain them, trying to use a method of embracing them so as for them to know that they are not thinking about them, but they're thinking about how this government can succeed, how this government can progress, how this government can change the mind and the life of youthful generation, how this government can change the mind of the Liberian people, how this government can go about paving federal roads in this very area, opening alleys and making bigger plans and promises and opening factories and bringing in more companies. The government have a tough mind to change the entire mind of we Liberians. But the only thing this government needs is for we Liberians to be helpful to this government. Opposition are not excluded. We know that every government should have an opposition, but let all maintain the mind that tomorrow, if the government fall, we definitely going to fall. If the government go back to the bush, we definitely going to go back to the bush. Let us, as Liberian, as the president said, he cannot do it all alone. We have to help him. We should make our minds safe and help this government. We should stop being opposition with negative mind, with destructive mind, but opposition with constructive mind. This government is our government. We should be pleased of having such a government like this. It has never happened before in the history of Liberia, I can assure you. The government have mopped up the economy. Can you imagine economy came from a 0% that nothing have left, the country was broke to the extent, and today you have money in the system. Today you have the president can even cut down his own salary to show that this government, he really want the government to set an example. He don't looking for money for this government, but he looking for what the government can do for the people. Can you imagine that minister's salary can be cut down, people's civil servant salary can be cut down today to tell you that this government is thinking about the masses? Is thinking about how more people can be employed. The president went out to lobby it, making companies to come, opening ways that we can be benefited. And we opposition will just say things that we want to say and say anything about this government. We should think that this is our privilege. At this time around, as an indigenous Liberian, we should leave the mindset of those people that know that anything happens tomorrow, they will go. They will never remain in the system. They will leave us with our trouble. They will take themselves to where they came from and will become zero. We will be affected. Let's stop being a pay agent or even looking at ourselves as a politician or a yellow journalism personalities. We should look at ourselves in the system to say we can make the change. We can help Bakubaya to make the change. We can help Buffer Timos to make the change. We can help Joe Howard to make the change. We can help Tobachi to make the change. And we can help every other person with the help of us to make the change. The Minister of Finance is not in Maryland County. He has an eye in Maryland County. He has an eye in Bapolu. He has an eye in Lofa. He has in Nimba, in Grandida, and so many counties that will work to bring information. Anything you tell him, he will believe it because he trusts you. That's why he has an eyes of you there. The Minister of Education is not in that various areas. But you as a Liberian, serving in those positions, those capacity positions, you should also know that your mind should be swift. Because you are the eye of the government in that various area. You cannot go and take the government, put the government in your pocket and start exploiting people around there. Then you say everything should be okay for the government. Anything you tell the government listen to it. We should know what is good for us. Liberians should always be on the safe side. We are tired with this hula balloons around here. We are tired with this negative thinking around here. We are tired with the preposterous response around here. We need change. We need our country to go forward. And this government is taking the country to the next level. This government is doing everything in its will to make sure that Liberia deviate from the kind of fake political ambition. This government is not looking for what can pocket it, what can give money to pocket it. But the government is looking for what can change the status of the people of Liberia. We have been the least ever, the most corrupt nation. The president is never corrupt, but who knows if the minister is corrupt? If the minister is never corrupt, who knows if the person serving as an eye of the minister is corrupt and giving the fake information to the minister to damage the ministry? We should be clever. We should be wise enough on what we do to government. We should stop doing that is not necessary. Every day taking the airway, taking the street, or going protest on negative things that you know that will carry the government back while the government is focusing on prosperity. What the government is focusing on what it can do to sustain. What the government is thinking about the agenda phase for this year. What the government is also thinking about how they can proceed to the next level, how they can bring in more companies, more entities to help Liberians to succeed, to employ more people, so as for us to lessen our burdens of our support for tomorrow. How they can bring about more money in, that we will go to school effectively, we will learn and be even greater than Singapore. This government have a plan. This government have a mind. Give the government a chance. The government are just gonna go a 1 year, a one single year, and then you are sitting back there groaning. Every time you get on the street, you are protesting. Those people who are giving you the money to protest, you should know that those people can also hang you up tomorrow. Those people have not been there. They just sit in that country out there, and then they come to tell you to come and protest. They'll always be there printing shirt for you. I don't think it is the right thing. Give the legislature the chance. Let the constitution of this country go on. Give the president the chance. Let him take the positive decision that he wants to make for the people of Liberia. This is our country. Our mind have to be swift on what we do. We should stop following those brother drovers. We should stop following the people who want to spoil us for tomorrow. We should stop what we are doing. Liberians have to be careful. Liberia are for Liberians, and we have to be very patriotic. We have to be very good and vigilant in what we do. The government is doing everything possible with the help of the speaker, the president, the senate pro tem, the vice president, whosoever person. The government is progressing. It is the only government that does not live into goodness. The government don't care. The government is willing to accept your opinion constructively, so as for it to carry on. The president make it very simple. Gentlemen, let's come to the table. Let's discuss this as a Liberian. Okay, you as an opposition, bring your own plan you have for the country. Let us sit down and discuss it. My own agenda plus the agenda, let us put it together and work with it. You refuse. You run away, you put on yourself, and then you come on Facebook and talk part of nonsense. We do not expect that to happen. Be able to give your opinion. That's why you're in opposition. Having seen other country opposition build schools, opposition build roads, opposition change life of people, opposition have scholarships around, our own opposition never have. The only thing about how they can destroy the government. Negative mind, fake impression of oppositions around here. Because they feel they are not from here. The only thing that they want to be patriot because they want to get position so that they can live by it and strangle us. It will not work. Our brothers are happy because of what they are earning. It have never happened before in the history of Liberia for a minister to be an indigenous Liberian citizen and earn a little or nothing. But what much more if you take somebody from the States, from the United States, to come and work in Liberia? To come and work, the man is thinking about how much he used to get out there. Before you pay him 7,000, 6,000, he look at that never to be your money for him. So at the end result, you have to he exploit the economy and take what he want to take. But our people are getting the little. They are happy. They are willing to work. They are willing to be in the system. They are rejoicing every day just to make the change. Are you not pleased of your brother to be opportune? And then you are here talking to maybe white men to come and rule you before you know the difference? What are we thinking about? This is Africa and this is Liberia for once. We should be straight to the mind and straight to the point. Our country is our country. We should stop what we are doing and focus. This is Liberia, and this is what we are proud of. We are proud of having a country like this called Liberia. I must be good to have a country. I must be good to live in a country called Liberia. I am proud. I am ready to say everything good. Dutchers are out of the country, and I will never be wrong when I say it. They went out of the country to learn, so as for them to come back to impart much knowledge in us, to treat us properly, that we will not go out of the country to say we are going for medical care and some other thing. No, we will do it right here, just as it happened in Nigeria, it happens in Ghana, it happens in some other countries around Africa. we will do everything here. Before then, we never even used to have doctors paying $1,000, maybe 700 whatsoever. But today we have doctors paying above $2,000 USD. We should be grateful to this government. We should be very grateful to this government. This government is working hard. We should have that. Today we can now understand that our president can go out there to lobby and come and show us this is what a foreign government gave me for the people of Liberia. Let us use it for our own benefits. And then you are sitting there and saying that the president going out is a waste of everything. If a president does not go out to lobby, how will the country function? If a country like Liberia that does not depend on anything, after all the mineral it had, do you think we will move forward? It is never a case. It is never a case. It has to happen. We must do what is necessary for the goodness of this country. Our mind are swift. I will tell you, and I will be straight to the point. We remain submissive, we remain committed to this government. And nothing can change our mind away. And once we have people that are together at once, we have the president, the vice president, the speaker, the senate pro tem, the justice, the minister of justice, the justice. We had everybody together at once. Everything of this country is in a one round ball. And they're going to play it and make sure this country is going to be a proper country. Today the president go out for help. Tomorrow the speaker go out for help. Other person go out for help just to help the country because they have one mind to develop the country. They are not people that are diverse in thinking. We think that we should be able to be supportive as Liberians, not to always be in the opposition. We are not against opposition. I said it and I'm saying it again. But opposition should always be constructive. Bring your plight to the government. Let us sit and analyze it and know the good out of the bad. But you say your agenda is inherited. The only time it comes out, whenever it is time for campaign, you tell us you do this one, you do that one. What have you done before doing that one? You have no example. But I don't care about that. What I care about is that this government will succeed. Don't matter your evil forces, this government will succeed. This government will move higher, and it will never stop anything. You sit there and even sit in government and criticize your own government. You are not getting the knowledge. You cannot be working in this government and then you criticize the government and allowing opposition to fool you with a negative perception. This is our government. This is the Liberian own people, own government. The long been praying for way back, and now we possess it. We have Ambassador George Manneh where he is our president, and this government will succeed. The purpose, the agenda for development and prosperity will succeed. Under this Ambassador, we are led government, and we are seeing this succeeding. Let us understand that we have some other cardinal responsibilities as an individual or as a citizen of a state. We should help the government. The government cannot do everything by itself. I am grateful today. I am very much grateful. I will take the show next time every week. Thank you for this time.